once you guys won the game, won the bronze medal, just like what was that feeling like for you?
A lot of emotions, for sure. Probably more than I could process at the time. Looking back, a lot of gratitude, some pride, a sense of relief. But I think it's going to take me probably months, maybe even years to fully process the whole experience.
What are some of the experiences, the learning curve that you had here at Tennessee that you still hold with you today, even when you're competing on the Olympic stage?
I think resiliency. You build a lot of mental toughness here, and I think I learned how to lead here, and I definitely have carried that into my professional career, and that was my role, on this Olympic team, was to be the veteran leader, to be the voice, to try to put my teammates in the best situation to be successful. So definitely tapping into some lessons that I learned here. Obviously was preached defense and rebounding. I tried to bring that every single game, and that was a Pat staple, and I'll continue to carry that with me for the rest of my career.
You mentioned resiliency, and your team didn't have an easy start to this tournament, especially just not having that familiarity maybe you would have had with Cam Brink on the roster. And just what was that process like, trying to learn each other on the fly in the Olympics?
Yeah, it was hard. There's like a sweet ratio with 3x3. It's such a nuanced chemistry game, and ideally you would like to have 3 players that have played before, that have experience, that know the ins and outs of the game, and then you can have kind of one newbie that you can bring in and catch them up to speed. And I think the ideal time for that would be about 3 weeks of preparation time. So ideally, obviously it's not a perfect world, and Cam unfortunately got hurt, and we brought in De'Erica, and De'Erica and Ryan had maybe 2 weeks of 3x3 experience. So we were definitely behind the 8 ball in terms of our preparation. But I think that group stayed resilient. We tried to stay optimistic as best as we could, even when we were in the fire. And I think you can say a lot about the way we, fought back and found a way to. I think we won 6 of our last 7 and came home with a medal. So when we were 0-3, I don't think a lot of people expected us to do that.
Was that your first time meeting the new head coach?
That was my first time meeting her in person. We had texted a little bit before this.
Initial impression?
I'm sorry?
Initial impression?
I'm excited. I'm excited to see her system at play in the SEC. I'm excited to see her system with our personnel. Change can be scary, but it can also be an incredible opportunity for growth. And so I'm looking forward to seeing her lead our troops. And, the goal is always to get back to the Final Four and to become one of the top teams in the country, to get back to where we were when, Pat was at the helm of everything. So I'm just excited. I think there's a good buzz, a good energy around.
I know it was raining, but the opening ceremony still looked like a pretty cool experience, especially
Yeah.
for you. Just what was that night like, and who was, I guess, maybe your favorite person you got to meet?
It was surreal. There was definitely a point when I was, at the front of the boat getting drenched, that I got teary-eyed just thinking about my journey and how far I've come, to be standing beside Coco and LeBron on this boat floating down the Seine, just very surreal. So just a lot of gratitude. The games hadn't started yet, so I wasn't totally just locked in and consumed by the competition. So I could really just, take a deep breath and soak it up, enjoy it, and take in all the sights and sounds, which was really cool.
Are you going to be staying around for a practice or 2 this week for the Lady Vols?
Yeah, I'm going to stay around for today's practice, and then I got to head back to Charlotte tomorrow.
And then when you are here at a Lady Vol practice, what are some of the biggest words of wisdom that you like to give to the current Lady Vol players?
I think just to continue to work. I also went through a coaching transition, so I can empathize with the players that are here. Anytime you go through change, it can be difficult, but I think they'll determine how far they go. Getting behind Coach Kim, getting behind her system, and ultimately it's the players on the floor. So they have to buy in, and they have to believe that they can accomplish great things, and they have to choose to do it together. So I think that's my biggest piece of advice is just don't be afraid of hard work. It's going to take hard work. and do it together. Like when I look back at my time here, my connection and my camaraderie with my teammates was just special. Like on the way up here, I was on the phone with Andrea Carter. I'm still really close to a lot of my teammates. So I think nowadays with the NIL and the portal and kids leaving after 1 year, you're not seeing as much of a bond on college teams. And so that would be my word of advice. Just enjoy it. Enjoy who you're doing it with. Go to war with your sisters, and take advantage of every day.
What's their reaction when they hear that you were one of the last players to play for Pat?
What's the reaction that
From the
I
players,
felt?
well, from the players when you talk to them, like, and you get to like tell them you played for Pat. Like, do they ask you questions about her?
Oh,
Like,
I don't know. I'll let you know when
Oh, okay.
when I talk to them today. I mean, when I talked with the group yesterday, last year, no questions were asked. So maybe this bunch will be different. We'll see. To be determined.
All right.
Knowing that you guys, or
Final
that you went,
question.
that you went through that coaching change, did any of them happen to reach out to you kind of for words of advice that have been here that are veterans changing coaching, knowing that you had been through a coaching change as well?
No, my line is open, and I am happy to extend words of encouragement and words of wisdom. But no, I haven't received any messages.
All right. Thank you, Cierra.
Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you.